Welcome back to the reading of Reclaim Yourself by me, Jessica Nuñez-LaMarre. Chapter 11, Calling Ourselves Back to the Divine. Before my healing journey began, I identified as an engineer, a mom, and the breadwinner in my family. I also identified as being able to support and take care of my family, as a go-getter who is driven. An overachiever with a type A personality, strong, and the one who could do it all. I identified as all the masculine traits I could claim: logical, not emotional, controlling, competitive, powerful, focused, strong, responsible, and disciplined. How do you identify in your life? What roles stand front and center? In focusing on masculine traits, I lost the feminine parts of myself, the ones I lost so long ago. The ones I lost in childhood, when I learned that to make others happy and be lovable, I needed to achieve, accomplish, and make others proud. I even despised the feminine. I saw the feminine as weak, powerless, oversensitive, and over-emotional. And in seeing the feminine in this way, I missed the power of the feminine. The ability to be intuitive, to look inward for answers, and to be understanding, compassionate, creative, and radiant. This allows for stillness, flow in life, and ease to allow emotions and senses to communicate with me as opposed to trying to control them. I missed the amazing ability to receive and give unconditional love as the divine feminine. Do you often find yourself focused on your masculine traits? For what I saw as the feminine, while standing in what I thought was masculine, was a wounded feminine being controlled by a wounded masculine, controlling, critical, unsupportive, and avoidant. My wounded feminine felt abandoned, neglected, and betrayed. What a wounded masculine looked like in my life: always doing, never having a never-ending to-do list, having so much to do at work, finding something or someone to criticize, especially myself, not having clear boundaries nor clarity on what I wanted, struggling with the confidence to speak up for what I wanted or needed, being controlling, being competitive, comparing myself to others, being unsupported of others and myself, projecting my feelings like anger, frustration, resentment onto my partner, kids, or others, being confrontational with my partner only to start a fight, being abusive to myself, finding something mean to say about myself, being avoidant, avoiding the situations I didn't want to confront, being unstable, happy one minute, frustrated the next, smiling one, yelling the next, trying to dominate others. As you review this list, can you see how the wounded masculine within may be impacting your day-to-day life? How about that never-ending to-do list? What a wounded feminine looked like in my life: feeling like I was stuck and there was no way out of the day-to-day, feeling like a victim in my own life, disconnected from my intuition, not knowing how to look inward for the answers to guide me in what to do in my life, not having the ability to be still because it felt unproductive, being overly sensitive when something happens at work that isn't that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, but feels like a big deal to me. Making a mistake at work or saying something and then worrying over and over if I offended someone. Replaying the conversations over and over in my head. Living in codependent relationships. Over-giving to support others and compromising my own needs at the cost of my mental, emotional, and physical health. Trying to change others. If only they do this, then things will change and things will be different. If only they do this, then I would feel. Being over emotional, not just crying, over emotion can show up in the form of anger and other emotions, which is what I experienced. As you review this list, can you see how the wounded feminine within may be impacting your day-to-day life? These are triggers that can show up from wounds and past experiences and from not healing what needs to be healed and not honoring what needs to be honored. Before my journey, I did not understand how much our childhood impacts our present day lives. In 2015, I was having a conversation with my sister who studied psychology and sociology in college. And we talked about how some people in society struggle due to difficulties or trauma from their childhoods. Not wanting to look at my own childhood, I told her in my masculine, dominant, and always right voice, childhood has nothing to do with life now. They need to get over it and move on. It is a good thing I know how to have compassion and forgiveness for myself, for I can see that message, that narrative, came from a wounded part of me, one that didn't want to look at her own childhood, her inner child, one that wanted everything to be fine and just move on. But really, what I needed was to move through, not on. I needed to move through these wounds so I could come face to face with them and honor them, so I could identify the parts of me that were wounded and needed love. A love that only I could give them, a love from within. Understanding who I am not my thoughts, emotions, or behaviors, opened the door to allow me to learn who I truly am. Working through all this past pain, I discovered myself as a divine human, a spirit that is living this life with the whole purpose of just living, being present and remembering to love and be loved, to love all parts of me, and in doing so, love all of life. The ups and the downs, the struggles and the challenges, as hard as they may be, they take us on a journey back to love, back to ourselves, and back home within this body. Now I can see that my soul has been calling me home all this time, calling me back to me, the divinity within me. The words you read now are from a healthy masculine and feminine both present, not fully healed, but aware and working together for a common cause, sharing the messages of my soul. For me to make it to my soul, I had to realize, number one, I am loved beyond belief for just being me. There is an ever-present love that flows through each one of us. We do not need to be worthy of it or feel worthy to have this love flow through us. It flows through us because we are this love. This body, mind, and soul are this love. 2, I needed to honor and heal the layers that made me feel separate. As I write this, I am still healing the layers. I don't see an endpoint. I don't see finally the layers will be done, and I will be at the end of some journey. Rather, this is the journey of life, and there is no end. And that is what is beautiful. We get to live and experience this life.